What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to GmiasWorld, and right now I'm going to need you guys to do this today. Tips and tricks to become a MUT millionaire during the NFL playoffs. I know that it's been very, very hard with coin making in the game, but I'm going to tell you guys this, right? Depending on how you go about doing what I'm going to show you right now, you're going to be really, really rich. And this is the thing. You can start preparing now for rookie premieres because that question was asked. I'm thinking probably like May. They might drop it and do the same thing where it's like 3 fantasy packs or whatever. Regardless of how they do it, it's going to be expensive. So it's better for you guys to start getting, the players that you want right now. Now, this is one method, right? That's going to probably net you a decent amount of coins, but you have to have a decent amount of coins to start. Okay, so I'm going to start with this one, right? The team diamonds, they're very, very unique in the fact that when they came out, their average price was like 5-6 mil. It was real nasty work. People didn't know how to really get them, and it was going on for a very, very long time, trying to, put together the sets to make them and stuff like that. Because remember, with the way that EA Sports did it, let me just show you guys really quickly. With the way that EA did it, you were only able to make the 92s. So this situation, right, that people were dealing with, it became very hard because you had to pull them otherwise. So they didn't really have any other way for you to get the other 95s, and it created a lot of problems. So what people started to do, now that everything got a little bit less, you can take any 95 overall team diamond and any 92, and you can create a pack that has any one of them except for Eli Manning and the other ones, I believe, because you can't get the Eli Manning. That's what I was told, but I'm not really sure about it. Because they are the champions, like they're the actual Julius Peppers and Eli Manning are the champions. So it says Champions Fantasy Pack. Somebody flied into me. I was told that they weren't in it. Those are the only 2 guys that were not in it. So let me know. Now, this is where it gets very, very simplistic. Okay? We're going to go over to the catalog, and we're going to look at the prices of these players. And like I said, you have to have a little bit of start currency to be able to do this, but you want to go through, right? Obviously, Matt Forte, like this dude is garbage, so I don't really know what his price may be. Let's check it out. Okay, yeah, he's about 1.49. So let's say, okay, he's 1.49. The average 92, and it could be any 92, like Donald Driver, he's going for like 1.22. So let's say, for instance, right, you get a 95 and the 92 for that set for about 1.5, 1.6, right? Your job now is to find one of the 95s that are going for a decent amount. Now, we were talking about this live on stream, and a lot of people made coins while we were actually talking about it. You can actually make it a lot easier for yourself if you just lock in on the cards that people are actively spending for. Now, this is why this is very interesting. There's still a couple weeks left to the MCS, which means that you have the opportunity to try to put together some of these sets and get some coins because people are going to be looking for certain things. Now, the number 1 card that people were using and creating was Vince Young, but he's dropped from 2.2 down to whatever he is right now, 1.74. So doing an exchange, if you were to do the same exchange and you bought the Forte, and then you bought, like I said, the Donald Driver for about 122, the 92, you would be able to net about 200K, like 250K, if you were able to put together the set. Now, for most of you guys that are like crazy coin makers, you probably have done this as many times as you can with the actual set, which is, I believe it's 3. So you have the opportunity to repeat this 3 times, I believe. Let me just check it again, just to make sure. Because EA doesn't really want us making too much. Yeah, so it's 3. So you can do it 3 times, okay? If you do it 3 times, you net 200K, you can go ahead and, pretty much make 600K. It's up to you and the time that you have and what you feel, your schedule permits. Like, I'm not trying to tell you to do it regardless. It's whatever you can actually do. Now, as far as these champions right here, this is what's interesting, right? Again, I'm probably going to do this set to see what's in it. But like I said, I was told that these 2 guys were not in it. All right? So we're going to just go on that premise. And I know somebody's going to comment and let me know. All right? If you wanted to continue right now, completing these sets, right, and getting the tokens, and complete Julius Peppers, you could also make a profit. The problem is this, right? When you start to do this, it becomes very time consuming, and because you don't know the schedule of people and what they're looking to buy, you may end up losing. Because remember, the 92s are so cheap, and this is going to cost you. So unless you already have a bunch of cards sitting around, don't do it that way. Because this is going to be, like I said, 87 is going to be like 20, 30K. Like, a lot of these cards are going to be expensive and they're going to add up. And you're only getting like 122, 150 for a lot of the 92s. So mathematically, if you were still trying to do that, I would probably say that doesn't make any sense. I would focus on doing this set 3 times and trying to net like 150 to 200 each time, because that's where it is right now. And that'll be a pretty good, you know what I'm saying? That'll be a pretty good chunk of change to get 600K, and then you can start using it for different things. Now, let's jump into the NFL playoff promo, all right, and talk about that. Because with what they've been doing and how they've been dropping cards and making some of these cards a lot better than we've seen in the past, you have the opportunity to make a lot of coins. Now, one of the main players that people are looking for is Xavier Worthy. Okay, so your whole objective in making coins right now is figuring out how you can get these cards for cheap, because I believe he's averaging a price about 500K. He may have dropped now because people have been using this method since, a couple days ago. But we're gonna take a look at this right now. Okay, I actually just sold Matthew Stafford for about 747 or some crap like that. But let's find Xavier. Okay, so he did drop under 500K. All right, so here's something that I propose, because at this point, we already know as the playoffs progress, they're going to continue to drop these cards, right? So right now it's a 94. I don't believe they're going to make the regular, just standard, set players 95 yet. I think they're going to continue along the lines of making the limiteds 95s and keeping it like that even for the next week. Even though we know randomly they'll just change the overalls, we're going to go based on that. So looking at this overall, right, and just trying to see exactly what makes the most sense, you need to look at the price ranges. Now, when you look at James Cook, right, you see that based on everything, him and Quinn, they're probably the cheaper ones. Nico Collins, those wouldn't be the cards that you would focus in on now if you were to make the 94. Even with it the way it is right now, it does not make a lot of sense to go ahead and start doing these lower level cards. But you can start to build for the next drop. Okay, because the next drop, what happens is early on, and all the MUT aficionados and all the gurus, they know this. Once the players drop, that's when they're at their most expensive. Unless it's like a Jamo Williamson that was going for like 7 million. It was stupid. But also, that was at the peak of the MCS with the LCQ. And everybody was trying to get him, and he was very, very limited. Like, he was really, really limited in his card, and he was out of packs by the time people started seeing that he would go to a 98 speed with a Lions theme team. So this is very, very important. I need everybody to understand, right? When you start to look at these cards and you start to realize, okay, if I start doing this, right? If I start putting together the cards right now, and I'm waiting for next week, what is the amount of coins that I stand to gain? That's always what everybody asks me. What is the amount? Like, what are you looking for? How much do you think you're gonna make? What's the deal? There was a point that Xavier Worthy, even as a set card, was selling for 650 to 700K right at the drop. Okay, so what do I think you can make? I think you can make a lot. All right, we just have to lock in and figure this out right now. So if we go under the assumption, okay, that the 91 playoff players, let's see what their prices are right now. They're about 90K. Now, 90K, 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 270, right? And then the 91s, if you made them, probably gonna cost you 50K, is about 370. So you can make about 150 per right now. You can make 150 per. Even if you paid for everything, you can make about 150 per if you made a Xavier Worthy and you sold him right away. What happens though if you just reserve all of the cards that you've been getting as trash from playing the playoff mode, or whatever you've been getting with the packs from whenever you play head to head? What if you started to make the 91s and just stockpile them? This is where you start to see more of a profit. So what I usually do is when I'm offline, I'll play around with these sets with some of the cards that I have that are outdated, and I would just start making some of the, I'll just start making the cards that I believe are gonna go into the set. But this is where we're gonna get smarter. We don't need to make 120 per, whatever like that. We wanna make more. So what we're gonna do is we're not gonna actually complete any of these playoff sets. We're just going to accumulate the cards that are needed for it. And then if they change what the requirement is, that's when we would complete the set and be ready to complete whatever 94s they drop next week. And then that's how we would make more. But again, I showed you a way that you can actually net 600K by doing that, the actual Team Diamonds thing 3 times. You can start to stockpile these so you can make a lot more at the launch of part 3 of the playoff promo. And now we will start to give you guys some methods every week. And if you guys have anything that you're utilizing, just feel free to share it with the community so that we can get it out for the GmiasWorld fam and we can start all making coins together. So lock in on this and be prepared for next week. And if you want to go ahead and dabble with the actual, the set with the team diamonds, the return for 3 times, go ahead and make yourself 600K. I'm going to see you guys and girls next time. You enjoy your day. One love, y'all.